welcome to another live stream or another video of the live stream if you're not here yet. So I'm doing a series of videos working on Inércia Demoparty stuff. So I'm gonna open up the website right now and also the GitHub repository. And I should probably spam that I started working on things. I'm also listening to sounds from Luguber because he's streaming right now. So props to him if you like the sound. I made it slightly lower though, just so you can still hear me. Right, let's spam this. Also, Evil seems to be live streaming right now. A lot of people live streaming today. Yeah, five people. Cable's also doing some stuff. I think it's Andrew there. So yeah, busy Tuesday. Anyways, Inércia stuff. So yesterday we checked the to-do list of stuff that is left to do. And the highest on the highest issue or the highest priority issue was trying to find some sort of graphic identity for the thing, not only to use for the website, which is just black and white, but also to use for announcements and stuff like that. So I went around and checked a few different stuff on Shader Toy, and I ended up cloning this effect from Philpine. I cleaned up some things. It was more complicated than it is right now, and I've been tweaking it a little bit, and I just sent her a message on Discord asking for permission to use it, and she said that it's fine as long as I credit her properly, which I fully intend to do. So I think the plan for today is trying to figure out if I can make this look slower for starters. And occupying the full screen. So something like this that I can just put on the background and then use for different stuff like writing some text. I will probably have to have white with black outline or something like that. So what I'm gonna do is take this shader, put it onto a web page that can load this and allows me to type some text in, and then I can use that to either really small videos of stuff announcing things, or just take a screenshot and have that. And then maybe, possibly, maybe if I can find an interesting tune, I can turn this into an invitation, like a proper invitation for maybe function. Yeah, okay, so that's the plan for today. There are a lot of other things to work on for Inércia. The whole scheduling of the DJ set stuff. The jingle, I'm left wondering if Evil or Gino are going to do something or not. Probably have to come up with something myself if I don't hear from them in about a week. And start contacting people for seminars and talks. This is also essential, and I'll probably try to do a little brainstorm list of who I can contact for people to be a part of this daily stream leading up to Inércia, and have some workshops for the compos. I think we can start doing some list here just from the people who are currently online doing stuff. Would be nice if we could convince them to do like something officially for Inércia at some point. So I can easily talk Evil about doing 4K intros. That would be interesting. I want to try asking Virgil about 4Clang or 64 Clang. Was it Dascon or Trias that also did some stuff? I'm not sure anymore. That would also be interesting. I'll try to ask Nobi if he can do something about Oidos, although I think Nobi is a bit camera shy. But asking doesn't hurt, so why not? What other compos do we have? Graphics stuff. ASCII is a bit hard. I don't really know that many people. I mean, I know Truck. Truck does a lot of stuff related. Nancy. I know Dipswitch. I know Truck. And I know Kransky. He's recently been very active, and I chatted with him a couple of times. So that might be an easy way to get someone to do a seminar. Let's see, who else can I ask? Executable graphics compo. That would be Luna, YX. Or Nobi. See if they might be up for it. YX might be easier because she's used to streaming, so I guess it might be interesting if she's up for it. I have to ask her. Photographics compo. Not much to give a talk on here, but I can try to ask like someone who is like someone like Made would be interesting to have, because he also does photo, but he also does graphics, and his girlfriend, whose name I currently don't remember, Iloe, also does photography stuff, so they might have some interesting insight that might be worth sharing. Not sure what specific topic they could cover. I mean, just generic photo stuff feels a bit, I don't know, too broad, but it might be interesting to just have a chat and just talk a bit about photography and how it relates to demo scene and how you can try to do something interesting. Well, it's an idea. Made is a very busy person though, so I'm not sure if he'll have the time for that or not. Oh, another person for executable graphics would be IQ, which is also a very busy person. Probably won't even read my email before it's too late, but you know, can't hurt asking. What other compos do we have? Old school pixel graphics compo. This is a hard one. I can ask Kazuya, because Kazuya does pixel art, and he's used to streaming. And he's Portuguese demo scener, even though he's been a bit inactive, but this would be a nice way to get him back involved in some way. So I guess I can ask him. Modern graphics compo, have no clue who I can ask. Let me think who has been active lately that I could ask. I think Made would also be a good candidate, but I don't know. I'll leave this for later. What's it called? Modern graphics. Let's go through all of the compos while we're at it and try to think of something. For channel mod could have a lot of people do some stuff about this. Thinking old schoolers that stream. Well, Offman and Citrix are nice options, and I know them both well, so they might be up for it. I can probably think of a few other people though. Skip this open. It's just first brainstorm about who I can ask, so it's not binding in any way, and of course I have to check with the people themselves if they are up for it or not. So yeah, let's carry on trying to figure out a list of people who we can bother for the workshops. IT versus XM and tracked music compo. Whew, this is an interesting one. Well, I know Distance is a big IT fanatic. I can also ask Saga Musics. I think he might be up for it. Who else could I ask for track music? Seminars. And obviously it's not Renoise. Otherwise I could just do it myself. Well, I could probably remember the things for Impulse Tracker as well. I'm totally clueless of Fast Tracker though. It's been so long that I don't really remember how it properly works. But I mean, the basics of tracking I know how to explain and give a workshop on that. So it's a very basic tutorial kind of thing. I can sort of give it. I'd much rather have someone else give the seminars though, instead of me. So I'd rather have me as a last resort. Streaming music compo. Who could I ask? JCO, NetPoet. Who else usually wins? Well, Genio. Probably give this as well if he's available. He left the organizing team, but he said he might still help out on a few things, so it's worth asking. I don't know. What else? Executable music compo. That's a hard one. Well, I guess executable music compo is already part of Oidos and Forklang. I guess we can also have something for Wavesaber. So I'm gonna put Wavesaber, which should be Hoffman probably giving it, unless he suggests someone who has been using Wavesaber a lot. I think Nobi also messed around with Wavesaber. Wavesaber is Logicoma's synth for 64K, for those who don't know, which has been the mostly used. Well, mostly used. There aren't that many 64K things out there, releases recently, so it hasn't been very much used, but it's one of the fastest growing in terms of usage synths out there for 64K stuff, so it's the most interesting to check out. I guess Gargai could also talk about his synth that he uses for the conspiracy stuff. That's also worth asking, even though Gargai doesn't really like to do videos very much. I'm not even sure what his synth name is called. I just call it Conspiracy Synth. I know it's based on Buzz, but I'm not sure how it works internally, or if it's even like available for other people to use. Anyways, other compos that I can ask people to do seminars on. Drone music, I guess I have to do that one. Or actually I can try to find someone else to do. I'm thinking who else also does drone music. There's that guy, Trollhead. What's his other nicknames? Undercover. What's his other nickname? He had a lot of nicknames, but I worked with him a few times in a few different labels and stuff, and it was one of the guys that was also working with Visualize on some of his other ambient demos where I was not featured. Don't remember the nickname that he used on those though, but I could ask him. I usually know him as Undercover, but he has like 4 or 5 other names. Let's look it up real quick. Of course there are a lot of undercovers. This one seems related. I recognize. Okay, what about Trollhead? There can't be that many Trollheads. It should be easier to. Okay, here we go. So Of course I clicked the wrong one. Fuck you, Discogs. Trollhead. Jan Rob, that's it. Adam Head. Okay, so diagnostic erratic. That's his nickname for more. But it's not really for ambient stuff. He uses it for other stuff as well, like glitch kind of sounds. No, a miracle. No. Yeah, I guess erratic is more ambient nickname. Anyways, I can ask him. I know him well for quite many years, so it's one of the ideas. One of the people that I can probably reach out and talk about different ways to do drone music and ambient and that kind of stuff and cinematic kind of sounds. Wild competition short film compo. Don't really know who I can ask for this. I guess learning to use 3D tools. Maybe Blender. I can ask Zero Shift for that. Where's the thing? Should probably do it. Try to have some sort of coherence. Put the name of the person first. Okay. Interactive compo. Actually, I can ask Frazão to give us an overview of Bonsai. Which would be interesting, which is the tool you can use to do interactive installations with. We used it a lot to do computer vision stuff, but you can also use it to do all the logic behind stuff. It's kind of like Max MSP, but has a lot of other uses that you can't really do on Max MSP. So it's a bit more robust than Max MSP. I guess robust is not the right word for it. It's an alternative. You can use it for other interesting stuff. And then frameworks for stuff. I guess I should try to find someone to talk about Notch, someone to talk about cables. That should be easier. I guess Andrew is the person to talk, or because Pandur doesn't really like talking about stuff in public, but I'll name Pandur to contact him anyways. I know Frau Mimi's also been using cables a lot. Might be worth asking her as well. Well, I was gonna ask Fizzer, but I think Fizzer left Notch, is working for Nvidia now, so maybe I should just ask Smash or Gloom. Not sure. What other demo engines are there that would be interesting for people to hear about? Other demo engine seminars. And again, this is just the first brainstorm idea. All this could change and I could figure out something else. Hey Evil, welcome to the stream. Was just listing possible ideas or people that I can ask to give seminars about the different compos on it, about to reach the intro competitions. This one, I guess Rolla. He did a very interesting seminar. Also Helmut or Sensenstahl. I never know how to write Sensenstahl. Is it like this? Ugh, I don't know. Well, you know who he is. Tiny intro coding. Or size coding, I don't know. 1K. Can try to ask 7 about it. 4K we sort of already covered with the other synths and stuff. 40K and 64K. I can try to ask Faris about their tool and compressor. So I might even have 2 talks about that, but you need to ask him if he's up for that or not. Also someone from Mercury maybe, although they've been a bit inactive, but what was the other guy's name? The other guy from Mercury, who also is very talkative. It's not Psycon. It's not Lass. What's he called? Abductee? Abductee. Abductee could probably also give a seminar if I bother him. I guess talking about signal distance fields library, since they did it, or something like that, or 64K making in general. What other compos do we have? The demo compo, where they talked about the demo engines. So I guess it's pretty much everything covered right now. Probably remember something else. Okay, so this is the first list of people that I might want to try and contact, see if they're interested in doing some sort of seminar for this road to Inércia kind of thing. So a lot of people already to contact. I'll start sending out emails probably tomorrow or something like that. Meanwhile, let's get back on track with the graphic identity thing. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the stream, for those who missed it, I found a nice shader from Flopine, asked her for permission, tweaked it a little bit, and I think it's sort of okay-ish. What I'm gonna do is try to put this into a web page, and I guess I can do it now. So I will save this version because I've tweaked it a little bit more. Oh, you like it, Evil? Yeah, it looks pretty okay. I like the dark colors in it and the slow motion of it all. What am I gonna do? So I'm gonna copy this, try to put it into my Canvas sandbox. What was the latest working image that I had out of this crap? Snow Broken Heart. This is when saving by date makes sense. Texture to the array. WebGL style transfers to the array. Yeah, I was testing putting multiple images for DDG stuff. I guess I could try to use DDG on this, but I'll stick with just making the shader work first. Anyways, this is the right framework for that. I'll copy these two. Quite heavy, but they have the shaders inside of them, so I think that's normal. Anyways, copy, paste. Inércia 2020 background. What's the other one? Inércia 2020 background. See what there is inside this crap. Crap. The whole font included here because I'm lazy to include external stuff. It's Roboto font, which is decent. Here we need to have the name of the proper thing, which was called Inércia 2020 background. Okay, and I'll never have to touch this again. Yes, I will. I will have to put like something to write text on top of. Although I can create it all with code, but it might be easier to just do like a div here. div id overlay text. And to test something, I will write your mother. Now I need to put the CSS for that crap. Oh, I have old code that it's not even being used anymore. Is it this or the other one? I never know. Overlay text. Absolute. I think vertical align doesn't work by default. Have to test this margin auto, so it's automatically aligned. So this should be centered horizontally already, but I think to center it vertically, it's quite a big headache. Separate that piece to its own CSS. Yeah, I'm lazy to do that. The idea of having this font face here was to keep everything in just one file, so it's easier to iterate different versions and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, this should be working. I will test that in a second, and I need to edit this thing. crap. Stuff to start the thing. Initialize the audio. It can be whatever. I can leave this for now. Need to find some other audio to put it there, or have it without audio. Where is it looking? Mode. I can skip the audio somehow. The draw canvas isn't even starting here, it's starting outside. I have some code to enable you to scroll with the mouse wheel back and forth. That's why it's a bit more cumbersome than it could be. And it has like any time that it gets updated and stuff like that. Where is it starting? Old image. Gonna have the frag code here embedded in the middle, which is bad for if you're trying to change stuff here. You don't have context highlighting, but well, it is what it is. Yeah, draw canvas, but where is it called? It's here at the start, and where the hell do I call the start? It's in the button itself. I think it's in the button itself. Yeah, it's on the button itself. Not the best way to do it these days, but well, it works. So what do I want to do? I want to get this shader running instead of whatever it's here. First, let's test if this still works. How do I test that? I did have an executable here for launching. There we go, HTTP server launch, 8080. And now it's Inércia 2020 background HTML. Okay, loading the images that it doesn't really need to use. It's not running. It's normal. Textures cannot be used with multiple targets. Image size not defined. Well, it shouldn't. Was this like a test? I did this thing and it was left broken and then I moved to another project? Could have been. And this is left as the most recent stuff, but it's not working. It has 8 texture locations, so this is not right. The latest version I had, I would put... what's it called? Multi-texture, I think it's called. Yeah, so this is the old version. This is not what I want. What I want is probably another project altogether. Let me check my GitHub. That's the latest repos that I did. No. The pancake demo, okay. So the pancake demo should be the latest one that has all the WebGL stuff working properly. Yeah, so this is a repository of its own. So I'm gonna copy this and work on that and delete the things that I just did here. Which is this and this. Okay. Pancake demo. There we go. Pancake demo. Copy, paste. Okay, it's much better. And so the WebGL shaders are embedded on the HTML, and then I look them up by ID, which is a lot more useful to copy paste stuff. And I can even leave these other ones here. They won't bother me. I just do another one for the stuff that for the shader that I want to import now. Debug vars. Oh, so all the JavaScript is also here. Okay. Everything is a single file. Oof. Any audio, sure, whatever. I'll need to find another track, but that's fine for now. Yeah, this is stuff that shows up in the middle of the demo, remember that. Oof, okay, it's gonna be a bitch to clean up, but let's try. And I'll need to change the icons later on and all that stuff. First, let's see if this even still works as it is. Server launch. Was this the one that was launched? Yes, it was. Okay. 8080. Okay. Okay, so it's working. I just need to replace all this stuff with something else. I also need to delete. Why isn't the hidden folders showing? I want to delete the original GitHub stuff. Or did I? Oh, maybe I just copy pasted this into the GitHub. So this is okay. That might have been it. I don't know. Because it should have a Git repository thing here. Yeah, like this one, it's showing. So okay, I guess I just copy pasted it. Inércia. There we go. want to keep, and I guess I put everything inside one single shader. Yeah, so this is, make sure that's all there. I can try to include the shader from, the tweaked shader from Flopin in here and have all of the same effects here, because as far as I remember I have multiple functions, stuff like that. Yeah, several noise functions. Field is another stuff. So I had like 3 or 4 different effects, including some rendering things. And then on the main, I would have the original, the twirl, the plasma, the swirl, the tunnel blob thingy, mixing some colors, and then a timeline to say when each one is happening. So I can keep the timeline logic somehow and just change or add one more effect to have another option here. So I will commentate all of this. By default, it's color O apparently. Yeah, color O is just a generic one that I use. Okay, so let's try to add another effect here. And see what duplicates we have. Probably gonna have some duplicate functions and stuff like that. We have to figure out which ones can be used, which ones cannot. Inércia, back, oh shit, 2020, background, effects, sure, whatever. Also some definition codes that will probably not work very well, since this one is shader toy code is not exactly GLSL. It's slightly different, so some definitions don't quite work. Have to convert stuff. Like the defines is one of the things that won't work. I guess it's back to char. Didn't I define pi? Shouldn't you define pi by dividing something? I remember someone said that at some point. I don't have pi defined. Don't believe I don't have pi defined. Ah, yes, we do have pi. Go backwards. Yes, we do have pi. Okay, so we don't have to worry about pi. We might have it, and with more detail. It's important. Still badly defined. It should still be done using like the division or whatever it's called. Where are we? Okay, this is, yeah, okay. This is the part of the code that I care about. Pi is already defined, so fuck that shit. I didn't check tau. Are we even using tau anywhere? Hey PS, how's it? Hey Alien, how's it going? Good, just working on the stuff. I got this shader. I'm gonna try to convert it to use it on. We don't use it. We don't have tau anywhere. To use it as background. So shader originally coded by Floppy, and I changed a few things and I slowed it down a lot. So I think with some overlay text we can use this to announce stuff. So yeah. To use as graphic identity of some sort. So I can just write whatever information text I want here on overlay and take a screenshot of it, or even make an animated page with different text that I can change. So yeah, I want to include this into a web page, and once it's on the web page, I can add text by HTML elements with some CSS and stuff like that. So and maybe even do an invitation intro out of that. So that's what I'm working on right now, trying to include it into an older project. Define time. Time is already defined, I'm pretty sure. Float t. Do we have time itself though? Let's see. The time variable, I can use that just for this effect. U timer, C time. Okay, I guess I can use that. And I time. Oh, this is not so good. I will need to convert from U timer. Yeah, okay, the original one is U timer instead of I timer. And I have an I time just to convert to that one. Okay, whatever. So instead of using, I will still use the variable time. I will just compare it to U timer. I think it's different from shader toy though, by some orders of magnitude. So this will be float time equals U timer times 0.005. Let's try this, and if it's too fast or too slow, we can just tweak it afterwards. This should be fine. Rot. Is there any other rot already being used? There's a rot 2, which is probably the same. There are not that many ways to rotate a matrix. We have a rot, and we have a rot CS and a rot 2. I think rot 2 is similar to rot. Let me check that. If it is, I'll just replace that. I'm keeping the older effects still here instead of cleaning everything up, just to make sure instead if I want to do like an invitation of this later on, I have these things lying around that I can maybe try to use to do something out of it. So that's gonna be interesting. I had said something on Hangouts regarding the topic, but I guess you took it into your own hands. I didn't read the Hangouts before I started this session, so maybe did you have something prepared? If you did, I could maybe use it. Or were you thinking of trying it? Let me open somewhere else instead. In case there's any. I don't know where I wrote Hangouts, but I wrote it somewhere. You were saying that when the palette is decided, I can make a scene with the ID logo on top. Yeah, I mean, if you want to remix this, you can also remix this with the ID logo. I didn't think of including the ID, but it could be interesting. Cables GL for seminars. Yeah, I considered that, and I do know them, so that's definitely gonna happen, or at least I'm gonna try to contact them to make it happen. Let's see if it goes through or not. Anyways, back into coding. We were comparing rotation functions, weren't we? Rot. This is the rot that we have. This is the rot 2. How are they different? Well, one uses an A, the other one uses an R. Completely different. Mind-blowing. It returns a matrix 2 with cosine, sine, minus. Yeah, they are the same thing. They are exactly the same thing. So I will find all rots and rename them to rot 2. From here, one forward. There's a rot right here. Rot 2, rot 2. That's it. That's all the rotness you have. This is not rot at all. Okay, I'm lost now. Where the hell are we supposed to be? not here. It's here. Yeah, it starts here. Yeah, this is my code. My most recent code. So this is set. This is set. Fix that. I don't know what a mo is. Module, I guess. Modulo. Step min. Let's see if there's any duplicate of these two functions. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, we're good for mo. And the other one was stmin. Stmin is pretty common. Yeah, stmin. It's the same. Okay, only two instances. Definition and the use. Okay, and box. This is another box, so we have to check. Huh? Okay, I'm confused. Box. Oh, it's a float box, which calls the F box. Okay. Then it's fine. We probably have a duplicate function, but I don't care. Materials, main. And inside the main, we should have... Oh, all these functions should be outside, probably. Yeah, I'm doing that wrong. Okay, so this crap should be... I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go here, outside the main. Dump it here. These are all auxiliary functions to our stuff. I'll send some concepts to the chat for you to take a look. Yeah, please do. You can check the images. I'll be entering the compo with something along the lines of that. Okay, sounds good. So we hope we don't have any duplicates here on these functions. I have to check the fractal, the GL, and the SDF. Only two instances of fractal, that's good. GL, I guess it's for the glow on the effect. It's the annoying thing of people using, of doing code that is fast code. They end up using very short variable names, and then it's very hard to search for them, which is a bit annoying, especially when you use something like GL that is just fucking everywhere if you use WebGL. Ugh. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, there is a global function called GL. Is this gonna fuck with me? It's on the JavaScript part though. It's not on the shader, so it's fine. Of course there's a global named GL, otherwise how could I need the stuff? Okay, so shader, where the fuck is the shader? Shader is here. There's no GL here. There's no GL. Yeah, there's no GL. Okay, we're good. So GL, blah 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 blah. It's here. What about SDF? It's the last one we have to search for. Huh? I'm confused. Isn't it the same? Line 594. No, it's not the same. 857. This is the call for it. Ah, because I didn't delete this code yet. Okay. here I delete this. That was duplicate code. Okay, this will need to be fixed somehow. I have to check how I did with the other ones. I need to check if a row is repeated. It probably is. I don't see it here though. There it is, repeated indeed. So either I don't initialize it, I have a feeling that P and that kind of stuff will also have been already initialized. That's inside the STF, so it's fine. What about a vec4p? Nope. What about ray direction? Do we have one of those already? It's initialized but inside the cycle, so that's fine. And this is inside a function, so that's fine. And this is mine, so it's fine. What about call? Color, call inside a function, don't care. Okay, we're good. Shading. This is the code for the background animation. Is it written in WebAssembly? It's not WebAssembly, it's a WebGL with JavaScript. Okay, the call is working properly, and then frag color. And this frag color, instead of calling frag color, I will give it some other name. Vec4 Inércia background. And then you assign a color row to that. And the idea is that if I was using the timeline, then I could mix and mash the different ones that I'm creating through the different parts of the code up there. But since I'm only using one right now, I can just do color row equals inertia background, and that should work, hopefully. Let's try the... Oh, this is G1, not GL. Huh. Well, good. Okay, fine. Should still work. I'm gonna collapse this so it's easier to see like what belongs to what. Save. Let's try to run this. Should work. Program not valid. Global variable initializers must be constant expression. Zero 426. I hope this 426 is.
Sift together the flour, baking powder, salt and sugar. Make a well.
And I really wish I wasn't playing sound right now.
And melted butter. Mix until smooth. Heat a lightly oiled griddle or frying pan.
There was a special way to stop the sound. What was it?
The batter onto the griddle, using approximately a quarter cup for each pancake. Brown on both sides and serve
What?
hot.
Ah, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. This one also doesn't exist. How do I stop the sound? How do I stop the sound? Background audio stop. Okay, that works. So let's take a look at the bugs that we got. Global variable initializer must be constant expression. So it's probably one of those defines in the beginning, like tau or something, that's based out of a function instead of a thing. And since that fucked up, frac chord was undeclared. Let's take a look at 426 if it's correct or not. I assume it's gonna be wrong because it's referencing inside the shader, and I have no clue of knowing what line it belongs to. But let's take a look at 426 anyways, just to check, just to rule that out. 426, yeah, it's not this. It's not this. It's one of the more recent ones, and it needs to be the code that we just changed. So, it might be this. Do we even use HR anywhere? Doesn't seem like it. Is that the only one? We had tau and stuff like that, and it's nowhere here. We weren't using tau, I guess. Okay, let's try this again. What are you complaining about? Must be constant expression. I don't see anything using functions here. Maybe it doesn't like this time? I don't think it... Let me take a look at the other code if they're used. Maybe it can only be used inside. Yeah, this is all fixed. Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably it. But if I move that to the main cycle, it should just work. So yeah, let's try that. Since it's not... you're supposed to be using this external part to define the variables, not calculate them. So, but it's... I'll just copy this. And put it inside the main on my code, which is here. I'll just calculate it here. I just need it locally anyways, so it's fine. I don't think I use time anywhere else. I don't see any time here at all though. Is time a global variable? Ugh, that would... Well, I can just define it and then update it. So that's... Where? What was that? There was one that was being used. This one is also inside the main. Here we go. It's declared outside, but then it's updated inside. So I'm gonna do something similar with this time of mine, which is this. Bam. Should be fine now. Well, it's a different error. Tracker undeclared identifier. Get uniform location program not linked. Frag curd undeclared. Okay, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's the first. It's telling me right there. Frag curd is not declared. So instead of using this thing to calculate your UV, you need to use the same trick as I use on other stuff. I think the UV is already being calculated by default, which is this. But then it gets changed for a few things, so I guess I should recalculate it here. Because if you distort the UV, you can do some interesting effects. So a lot of effects use that. There's an old UV as well that you can use. And the old UV, I guess it's the old UV, the original one. Where is old UV being calculated? Old UV equals UV. So the old is actually, yeah, okay, this is a mess. Whatever. I think this is the fix to have it properly lined up the same way that it looks on Shader Toy. So I'm just copy this and I'm gonna reinitialize UV at the end of these things. Can I do that though, or will I think I can. Shouldn't fuck something up because everything else is already calculated. So if I do this instead of this, should be fixed. Not sure what VST is, but I guess it's oh. What's VST? Oh, okay, it's the input. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, this should work. Did I save? Yes, I did. Restart. Please work. No errors. That's good. Okay, here we go. Too fast for my taste, but we can change that easily. Any good sources for learning up on WebGL aside from MDN? There was a nice repo that had some WebGL examples. WebGL examples. This one I already been there, so I know that it works. Let me take a look at what they are. Yeah, you have a lot of example code on different stuff that you can do with WebGL, so this is a very good repo to do. I think I used this one to learn how to do multiple texture stuff. Yeah, the original was written by Flopin, not Alien. And I really need to find another music because it's gonna be hard to debug like this. Wish I could just click here and mute. You can! Thank you! So I needed to put the time slower. A couple extra zeros should do the trick. Yep, that's much better. Even one more. Or 001. I think the difference between Shader Troy and WebGL GLSL is that one comes in milliseconds and the other one comes in seconds. So you always have to divide by 0001 to have the same range as you expect. Okay, so this is more what I originally had in mind. Now I just need to throw some text in there and be able to control the text in some way or form. I do notice that the div that I wrote with the text is not being displayed, which is interesting since it's... Oh, I didn't include it here. It was on the previous thing. Okay. I already have a span here that was used for the demo. I'll do something similar, but more centered and with a better font. So let's try to do that. Let's look for recipe. And I have a thing if it's showing or not. Should we duplicate it? Should we use it? Should we refactor it? Decisions. Oh, because it fades in and fades out. Oh, fancy shit. It's based on the timer though. That's annoying. You can't control it directly inside the WebGL. You need to have two different timelines. One to just control the fade in and fade out of stuff. Of the text, I mean, and the one inside WebGL to do the different parts that the shader is doing itself, which is a bit of annoying. You don't have everything in the same timeline, but well, it is what it is. We will survive. We will survive. Yeah, and this timer is even a bit more cumbersome because you're actually turning on and off the fade in effect. And I think there's a special thing on the hidden class to make it fade out automatically once it's triggered. So yeah. So what do I need? I need to get rid of recipe 1. I'm just gonna call it I mean, I could still call it recipe 1. No, refactoring. Let's call it text. Info text. The class is gonna be info text. I'm gonna refactor that as well, and then I'm gonna just write some stuff. Blah 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 blah. BR and blah blah some more. I can leave this text. I don't care. I'm gonna delete this part. Now I need to find everything from recipe 1, from recipes overall, and instead of recipe is the stuff that I don't remember the name, obviously. It's info text. Okay, so recipe becomes info text. Let's assume we're only going to need 1, which we probably will not, but I'm too lazy to do all the other ones. Now let's make it start soon, so like 1 second, and last for a very long time. Info text, blah 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 blah. Is not needed, so I can just delete it. Showing info text equals true. I can just delete this because it's, well, when recipe 2 would show up, it would automatically turn off recipe 1, but I can do it as a check on the timer itself. So else if timer is bigger than, I guess we're gonna leave it at 50 to 500. If showing info text is true, blah 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 blah, info text here, and this will become info text as well. So this should be showing the text. Let's test that. Restart. Start demo. 1 second in. Okay, we have text. Now we have to line up the text, make it centered on the screen, maybe lower. Are those pancake recipes? Yes, they are. You are so wise. Weren't you here at the pancake demo conference that we had? Our demo featured a pancake recipe. Okay, just line up and then try to do something with it. I'm getting a bit tired though, so I'm thinking I'm gonna leave this for tomorrow. But thank you everybody for dropping in on the live stream. I think we covered a very big piece of work. Let's just review real quick what we did. So we did a brainstorm trying to figure out people who we should contact for the seminars. Which are probably gonna be, I'm gonna write like a default email and start looking for emails for all these people, and then I'm gonna contact them all either on Discord or email. Anyways, this is the list, or the preliminary list of people who I would really want to see doing seminars on this stuff. There's missing some seminars for old school platforms, like for Amiga coding or C64 coding. Seminar for C64 coding, even for Spectrum as well. And for Amiga. And for Amiga, I know at least No Name has given some seminars in the past. I don't know if Dan of Lemon would be interested in that as well. For C64 coding, I really don't know who to ask. For ZX Spectrum, Soul HCSA has been doing some interesting stuff. We also have Lord Coxes, of course, who is Portuguese. He might be up for that, and would be cool to have Portuguese people representing. Who else can I ask? Introspec and Gasman. For C64 coding, I'm not sure who I could ask. Oh, you didn't see all the Pancake Conference. Shame on you, Alien. You missed one of the biggest events ever. At least the biggest event featuring pancakes that we ever had on the demo scene. But since you're a nice guy, I will let that slide. This time. I expect you to be at the next Pancake Conference, which will probably never happen, so you're good. Anyways, I think we're good for today. We did this brainstorming thing. We did the page that now shows the effect for the graphic. I have to still try to center everything up and then either wait for someone to send us the jingle or to try to do a jingle myself. We'll see what is easier to do tomorrow. So yeah, same time tomorrow around 9 p.m. Lisbon time. We probably won't have soundtrack by Laguber. Thanks for the DJ set, by the way, Laguber. He's been going on for quite a while. So yeah, see you guys then. Thanks for showing up. Bye bye everyone. See you tomorrow.